having served in the military, one of the things that I am pretty adamant about is the abuse of our military. You know, it's called the Defense Department. It's not the Offense Department. Yet, if you look at our foreign policy over the last 100 years, our foreign policy has been dictated in order to the benefit of the very select few at the very top. It's been market driven. It's been for enriching a select few people while employing our military around the world. So, you know, we talk about this thing with Iran recently.
Right.
If you look at our history with Iran, back in the 1950s, Iran was one of the first places that we did, you know, regime change, peacetime regime change, where we sent the CIA in there to overthrow the government because we wanted to ensure that we could continue supplying oil to our American companies and our British companies, because the Iranians wanted to nationalize their oil. You know, their natural resources, they were going to nationalize it instead of allowing our private companies to continue to profit off of that. Same thing in Guatemala during the same time. We also did regime change down there because United Fruit didn't like the labor strikes that were going on down there. And so they wanted to increase their profits and control the labor, so they overthrew the government down there and installed a military dictatorship. Now, when you look at the vast amount of money that we spend on the military, I mean, the last 20 years of war, we spend almost $7 trillion.
Right.
That's money that could have been used to rebuild our roads, to rebuild our bridges, to overhaul and rebuild the infrastructure of our educational systems, pay for universal health care, pay for free college for all. A lot of good could have been done for the people here,
Right.
instead of being wasted. But somebody made a profit on it. I mean, when we assassinated that Iranian military leader, whose stocks went up? Raytheon. Raytheon stocks went up. All the military industrial stocks go up. So those folks made money. Meanwhile, civilians around the world die. Meanwhile, we put our military in harm's way. When I was a kid, I remember, you know, learning geography, because when you're a military brat, you learn geography real quick. When there's a unrest somewhere, you're wondering if your dad or your mom's going to be going there.
Deployed.
Yeah.
You know, you said something there early on in that, talking about the military, you know, where you had said that, you know, it's the lower, I don't know if your exact words were, but
Marginalized
the lower class.
yeah. Working class folks are comprise the military.
And that's a hard conversation to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, in general, but it's the reality of it is so true. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
it's,
you know,
you can look at it and see it.
I just remember when we were going through the Gulf Wars and stuff, and people were slapping those yellow ribbons on the back of their SUVs, and it was like, you know, thank you for your service, or I support the troops. Well, you supported the troops by putting a $1 sticker on the back of your SUV. But that's not the sacrifice